So I just want to say, Andrew said when you were asking, what do you see besides the stars? He said he sees Elon Musk's car. Just wanted to tell you that. And Andrew said he was looking for the window on chaos. He said chaos is an indicator. It's feedback that tells you something needs to be done. He was making that comment for you.
Right, exactly. Yep. Chaos. Oh man, the chaos can be it is something that we need, obviously we need to pay attention to, but not from a negative perspective. It gives us a clue that something is going on here that we need to do something about. And in an innovative culture, we are looking for where that chaos is in a proactive way. And then working with people, talking with people to define exactly what that chaos is and everything about it, so that we can identify the changes we need. But it tells us that it's time for innovation, it's time for positive change, or to fix something that's negatively happening in the organization. It can be any number of things.
Right. And Greg had a comment. He said, looking 5 years out doesn't mean much when your servers are down today. Do you have a comment for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, so there's a balance, right? Between planning for the future and also planning to handling, things today that are happening. Like a server goes down, we need to react to that, but we I believe should have been proactive in defining how we're going to respond to things like that. Now, we can't catch everything like that, obviously, but we can come up with we can have a general guideline or a plan on how to handle a chaotic thing, or physically or technically chaotic things that happen like that. There was a company that I was doing a class for, and they had a major outage that was affecting the whole logistics for the organization, and it happened during class. So it pulled 2/3 of the people out of the class, and it was basically just what you're talking about. A server was down, and they had a plan and on how to handle that, and everybody was doing their job. So anyway, I'm not sure if that's just my comment on that, but I hear you.
Yeah, and I think that's a great answer. And Patrick commented back in on that, and he said that's precisely why you need to dedicate resources to CSI. Someone has to be thinking ahead.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that. I'm with you, man.
Right. And Satoshi is saying, this all makes sense, and I agree. However, the challenge, if your organization is not innovative, any suggestions to start the cultural change?
Oh my gosh, that is a great question, and that's a great question. My suggestion, as I've talked to people, what you've done with that kind of comment is said, I am boxed in a corner, and there's nothing I can do, about this. So what do I do from there? So my comment is that if it's something that's personally, or not personally, but if it's affecting your job, your ability to do your job, is to start documenting. Not in an accusatory way. You don't want to be in the mode of blaming people. You blame processes, you blame technology, you blame activities, and you say, I am limited in my job, I'm limited in my work because of this, the way this process is set up. Is there anything we can do about that? And another attack on that is similar, not an attack, but a tact to take, kind of like you're tacking and sailing. But another thing you can do is document. It's still documenting, but it's documenting all of the issues that you're having, and so that when someone comes to you and says, here's, why aren't you doing your job, kind of thing, you go, here's why. Okay, and it's hard to push it upstream. And the other thing you can do is go in and talk to your manager and have a heart-to-heart talk with him or her. All right, so I could go on about that, but maybe that's enough. Does that help?
Yes. I have one more question for you, unless our listeners want to put in their last questions here. And again, it's from Satoshi. And Satoshi says, do you need to wait for chaos to introduce CSI?
No, that's one of the, in an innovative culture, chaos is going to come, but you don't want to be in reactive mode. You want to eliminate reactive mode as much as you can. So you want to be proactive, and the way that you're proactive in that is being on top of, what the business needs are. The story that I shared earlier, that this company went out and did a survey of their whole organization and came up with a 2-year plan. And so that 2-year plan, then part of that was a 4 or 5 month 3 or 4 month project to improve on 2 processes in IT. And so that is, some of you may say, well, that's not chaos, that's planning. I go, okay, well, but hang on, we do the assessment, and that helped us to identify where the chaos was. And then from there we can identify the changes that we need to make to align it with the business goals and objectives, and reducing some of the chaos in those 2 specific areas.
And those are all my questions. I do have a question. Patrick has one more question.
All right, Patrick, shoot.
So Brad, after dealing with chaos all day, is your music your refuge?
Is music my refuge?
Yes.
Yes, it is. How did you know that?
And I do have a question from Sarah, and Sarah wants to know what FBMG means. And it's not on your current slide, so if you want to bring up one of your slides with it on it, you could tell them what that means.
Okay.
That goes right into Patrick's question.
Yeah, that does go into. Did someone set you up, Patrick, to ask me that question? Okay. I am deciding with a business name or whatever, and I came up with FBMG, and all I want that to mean is just the branding of service management, consulting, and training. That's what I wanted, what you all the picture. But if you're going to nail me on what do those letters stand for, that stands for fiddle, banjo, mandolin, and guitar.
And why does it stand for that, Brad?
No, thank you, Karen. I love bluegrass music. It's a what should I call it? It was a second source of income for me for a number of years. And so I go out and I play gigs, and I do some solo gigs, and I've been in a couple of bands and helped some other bands out. My main instrument's banjo. I know a few parlor tricks on the mandolin and guitar, on the mandolin and fiddle, but guitar I feel like I'm pretty good at. Banjo is my best instrument. So fiddle, banjo, mandolin, and guitar. So
there you have it. Sometimes he's known as Branjo Bad. No,
Banjo
Brad.
Branjo Bad might be true.
Well, that's true too. That could be also. All right, I just wanted to thank you again, Brad. That was a really great presentation. A lot of accolades from our listeners saying what a great job you did and how helpful that information is going to be for them. So thank you so much for your time.
Okay, cool. All right, you're welcome, guys and gals. I thank you for coming and listening and giving me that feedback and the questions. I really appreciate it.